Hello friends, welcome to the today's session. Welcome to Unacademy. Today our topic is subqueries. What is the main advantage with subquery? What kind of subqueries we can write? How subquery is much more helpful than your joins? And what are the subqueries are available? What is the importance of correlated subquery? And our main objective of today's class is how you could able to retrieve topmost three senior employees or topmost highest paid employees or first highest paid employee or second highest paid employee. So in order to answer such kind of questions, there is a requirement of sound knowledge in subqueries. Subqueries are most useful than the joins because the subqueries are mainly used in unknown conditions where join cannot be done in such kind of cases. So, what are the main problems of join and how those problems can be overcome in subqueries? We will learn in this session. Before going into a discussion, first let us say our anthem once. Crack GATE and ESE with India's largest learning platform, that is Unacademy. Get Plus subscription and access recorded and live lectures. Use my referral code to get the admission into Unacademy and get the 10% off. This is applicable for 12 months and 24 months subscriptions. Now, let's crack GATE CSC. Subscribe to YouTube channel. Use my referral code. Hit the bell icon for latest notifications and updates. So let's crack the today's lecture, that is subqueries. What is the main importance of subqueries? First, let us see subqueries' main intention is unknown condition. So you want to write any kind of a query when the value or input value or a predicate is unknown, which is also called as a predicate. Whenever predicate is unknown, then you may go for or opt for subqueries concept. So how the subqueries are going to be useful, I will show you with one example. And there are different varieties of subqueries are there. One which is going to give you a single value. This is going to give you multi values. This will give you subquery within another subquery. This is outer query has got multiple subqueries. This is inner query is going to give you multi columns. This is the very important correlation between outer query and inner query. So first let us know about what is a subquery before going to in detail about the types of subqueries. So what is the main intention of subquery? So when you call a concept of a subquery, its a definition is that query within another query. Query within another query. And the next point is you will find two kinds of queries. One query is outer query, which try to get the predicate value from inner query, and the second variety of query is inner query. So in this subquery concept, first inner query gets executed, then pass result to outer query, then pass result to outer query. Therefore finally outer query gets executed using that predicate which is supplied by inner query. What is the meaning of a predicate? You observe carefully. Assume that there is an employee database which consists of employee number and employee job. I say E1 and the job is something like clerk, and E2 job is something like manager, and the other one E3 job is like salesman. Now I'm asking a query now. Find employees whose job is clerk. We know how to write this sort of queries. Very simple to write this query such that I say select asterisk from EMP. Here predicate is directly available. What is the predicate value? Clerk. I say this clerks are belongs to job column. So job is equal to clerk. Bus. So here the predicate is directly well known. Therefore, when you are trying to execute this kind of a query and it is going to execute the predicate and finally you will get the values. That means it is going to give you find the employees whose job is equal to clerk. This is a very basic plain query which is not at all a concept of a subquery. Now subqueries are useful like this. I am asking a question to you like this. Find employees whose job is equal to, please observe, whose job is equal to employee 2's job. Observe carefully. Now here I want to execute a query like this. I am writing a query. I want to retrieve all the employees. Select asterisk from EMP. I am saying where job is equal to whose job? E2's job. But I cannot write like this E2's job. What is E2 job? You please observe. E2 job is nothing but manager. So first of all, we need to calculate what is E2's job. Therefore, this is a wrong variety or wrong specification in order to give the predicate to the final value. Now you need to find out first E2's job. So what is E2's job? Now I am retrieving first E2's job only. So select job from EMP same table. This time he has given a help. What is that? Where employee number is equal to 2. Now observe friends, see the beauty of the subquery which cannot be done by the joins. Again I am repeating, whenever the condition is unknown, then you have to 100% opt subqueries concept only. Now in that you want to execute, this is called outer query and this is called inner query. So you want to execute outer query, outer query requires a predicate value for the job, or I am expecting a job value of E2's job. Therefore, outer query cannot execute directly. So outer query depends on inner query now. So outer query depends on inner query in output. So that means first inner query gets executed and pass the result to outer query, then outer query is going to be get executed. So what the inner query value? Select job from EMP where employee number is equal to 2. So it contact the database and see that E2 job is equal to manager. It bring that job and put it here. So now once the duty of the inner query is completed, it is vanished. Now you read the outer query. The outer query is nothing but select asterisk from EMP where job is equal to manager. So it is going to give you the employee details whose job is equal to manager. Apart from E2, if there are there, they are also going to be displayed. But here we are having only one manager employee, so his record is going to be retrieved. Now let me give you one more example. I say find employees whose salary greater than employee 10's salary. Please observe friend. So here also condition unknown. We don't know what is the employee salary. So first we have to find the employee salary 10. So select sal from EMP. I am writing first inner query only, where employee number is equal to 10 first. So first inner query gets executed and pass this value to outer query. Based on the value received by outer query, now outer query get executed. Select asterisk from EMP. What is the condition I am asking? Where you are expected a condition called salary. So where sal greater than, after executing the inner query, the value will pass over here. Then finally outer query is going to be executed. Okay friends, so this is the one of the application where you would able to see that the importance of the subqueries. But you cannot write joins are having a different approach and subqueries are having a different approach. But subqueries are mostly useful in this kind of context. What I mean to say, whenever value is unknown, then you can able to use the concept of a subquery. But the very important thing is that subquery first inner query will execute, then the answer will give to the outer query. Advantage is so high that it is being used whenever predicate is unknown. But what is the drawback? Time complexity. What is the time complexity here? You observe this is inner loop. This is inner loop. This is outer loop. Therefore, you see that time complexity, they are executing on the same table. One is so on employee table, the other one is also on employee table. Then you can say that it is taking assumption that order of n square time complexity. Why? Because you need to check out first of all inner query having a one kind of manipulation and give the value to outer query. Then outer query is going to be executed. Therefore, you can say that it is going to run inner loop within our outer loop concept. Okay, but exactly we will see this inner loop within the outer loop, that concept we will see in correlated subquery. You will 100% see that order of n square is the time complexity. And now I have named, so after learning what is the importance of the subquery, I have named that there are different varieties of subqueries are there. The first subquery is single row subquery. So what is the single row subquery? So inner query returns only one value. Please observe carefully. Only one value to outer query. That's why it is called as a single row subquery. So inner query is going to give you to outer query only a single row, hence it is called as a single row subquery. So in order to perform the single row subquery, what are required? The requirement is that we must use single row subquery operators. Okay, so what are the single row subquery operators? We have single row subquery operators like is equal to, greater than, lesser than, less than is equal to, greater than is equal to, not is equal to. So any of the operator you can use it and to see that 100% your query is going to be evaluated. So the types of queries which are derived from the Oracle Corporation, that means as far as Oracle concerned, it's based on the execution. The inner query is going to give you a single value or multiple columns or correlation. So based on the execution of inner query and the behavior of the inner query only, the number of type queries are being given. So the first variety, we will look at one example. What is the example? So please look at this. I am taking employee number here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and department number here, 1020 and 1020, how they are working. There is a department instance here which is having a department number and department name. 10 is the sales department and 20 is accounts department. Now I am writing a query. You may expect the output. I say select asterisk from EMP where department number is equal to, select department number from DEPT where D name is equal to sales. Observe friends. So first inner query is going to execute. So inner query is going to execute in such a way that This time it is executed on department table. Now earlier it was the employee, now I change the instance. Now select department number from department where department name is equal to sales. So it sees the department name is equal to sales and it will give you the department number as a 10 and inner query will vanish. This 10 will be passed to the outer query. Now outer query is going to execute that select asterisk from EMP where DNO is equal to 10. So you will understand that there are two employees are being retrieved, that is employee 1 and employee 3. So what do we understand? What this query is giving you? The query is giving you that find employees who are working in sales department. Find employees who are in sales department. So this is how you can write the subqueries in good context. Now this query is a single row subquery. Why this query is a single row subquery? You understand carefully that this is the inner query is giving only that one row to outer query, then our outer query is being executed. Okay friends, and the second variety of query is called multiple subqueries. They are most important to us. And the same subquery I can also implement using the concept of a joins. You may use them, but joins are not at all useful for any kind of a queries. Subqueries are meant for any kind of queries you can write in easier form, but the only one disadvantage is the time complexity. So how this can be written in joins? The same I am going to write in joins also. Observe carefully. So you will understand how they are being differentiated each other. I am saying like this. Select asterisk from EMP comma DEPT. I am getting data from both the columns. I say common data column is required where EMP dot department number is equal to DEPT dot department number. I have established a join here. Equi-join I am establishing. And one more condition is there. What is that? Where department dot department name is equal to sales. Now this is a join. I am not at all using any subqueries concept. Here also it is going to give you the same answer. What is that? E1 and E3 only. Understand friends? So whatever you can write with the join, that can be written using a subquery, but reverse is not true always. Therefore, we will see the second variety of subquery, that is called multi-row subqueries. These are very important as far as any competitive examination concern. So what is a multi-row subquery? Here you observe that inner query returns multiple values to outer query. So here you need to understand one important thing, that we must use multi-row subquery operators. So this is the important thing. So what are the multi-row subquery operators? Like in is one multi-row subquery operator, any is one multi-row subquery operator, all is one multi-row subquery operator. So you can use any of these operators in order to write multi-row subquery concept. Now I am writing query like this. Observe. Now I am saying select asterisk from EMP. I say where salary is equal to, and I am saying select sal from EMP. Now you observe friends, the inner query is going to give you multiple rows. Why multiple rows? You see that the select salary from EMP, it is going to execute an entire table and it try to bring all the salaries. So what are the salaries? If you look at the database here, please observe, this is the database. So what are the salaries it is going to give you? It starts with a 500 and gives all the list till the 1100. So what do we understand? We will see that the inner query is going to pass the values from 500 dot dot to 1100. But outer query, you observe carefully, outer query is expecting how many values? Please observe. Outer query is expecting How many values? Outer query is expecting how many values? Only one row. Because you are using a which kind of operator this is equal to is a single row subquery operator. So therefore what will happen? You are trying to expecting a one row, but inner query is giving a pool of rows, then it will give you an error. What is that error? Subquery returns multiple values. Subquery returns multiple values. So therefore, in order to avoid this error, so in place of the single row subquery operators, you have to use a multi-row subquery operators. Just by changing the operator style, then you can able to make this query to success. So how to write this kind of a query to avoid this kind of errors? Whenever single row subquery is unable to fit with this multi-row concept, you see that if inner query is returning multiple values, then immediately you change the style of the operator to multi-row subquery only. I provided three operators like in, any, and all operator. So let me give you, and I am going to change its nature of query. I say select asterisk from EMP. Please observe carefully, friends. Till I reach to the correlated, you need to understand this language. Once you come to the correlated, you will understand first highest, second highest, fifth most highest, five most highest, any kind of query you can write. But basics are very important. That's why I'm not going directly to the correlated subquery. I'm giving you first introduction. Then using this knowledge, we will solve such kind of questions. So please be ready and please be patient. Watch this lecture. So select asterisk from EMP. I am saying that where shall, and I am changing the operator style. I am using in because there are three multi-row subquery operators. I said in, any, and all. There are other operators like some also there, exist there, not exist there, but we will use them in correlated concept. Now I am using main three importance like in, any, and all, right? So where shall in, I am writing inner query like this. What is our inner query? Same. Select shall from EMP first. So inner query is giving you all the salaries which starts from 500 dot dot to 1100. I have shown you already the database here. So 500 dot dot to 1100, all the salaries will be retrieved. And the outer query is also looking multiple values only. Please observe. Outer query looks for multi values because I have changed the operator bus. So now therefore this query is syntactically correct and semantically also correct. Now what the output of this? What the output? You see the output? Let us see. The inner query has the list 500 dot dot to 1100. Outer query, it checks this 500 is in the subquery list or not. First employee, the first employee is 1, his salary is 500. You see that 500 is in this list or not? Yes. So he will come. So come to the next employee, E2, his salary is 600. Thus 600 is also in this list only, E2. Therefore, you see that all the 9 rows are being retrieved using this model. So I will just change this query into different variety. So I'm writing here, select asterisk from EMP. I'm saying where shall not in, this time I'm changing, where shall not in, I'm writing inner query, select shall from EMP, where I'm giving a one predicate, DNO is equal to 10. Please observe friends, this time inner query is executed and it try to give you some values. What are the values we will see. So department number 10 salaries only. So this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy. So it will give you 1000, 800, 700, 500. So 1000, 800, 700 and 500. So these values will pass to outer query. So outer query takes that value, the inner query gone now. Outer query got the value like 1000 and 800 and 700 and 500. Now you observe carefully. The employee salaries must not be in this list. That's what the meaning of not in. Employee salaries must not be in this list. So therefore you will get other employee details. That means you're going to get 5 rows in this case. So how you got the 5 rows? Because E1 salary is 500, that is in the list. So he will not come. E2 salary 600, that is not in that list. So E2 will come. Then one more guy. E3 salary is 700. The 700 is in this list. So that will not come. Please observe. And E4 his salary is 500. That will not come. E5 salary is 800. Salary is 800. You see that? So salary is 800. He may not come. So you observe that. You see how many other employees are going to get whose salary is not equal to this. So that is 1000, 1800, 700 and 500. So we come to know that the other employees are going to come. So apart from this list, you see that 600 guy will come and 900 guy will come and 1100 guy will come. Then as well as 700 is also there. We don't get. Therefore, we are going to get only 3 rows. So finally, we will get that 3 rows only. So this is the idea of opposite to in operator. You can able to use the concept of not in, and here also you can able to give some kind of a predicates in the inner query. Any doubts you can chat with me, as this is a live class. Now I am writing a query like this. I am saying select a count of employees from EMP. See, you can write in any styles using a subquery concept where sal in, please understand carefully. I am focusing on in operator first. Sal in. So whichever column you are asking, the same column should be present in inner query. Otherwise, it is going to be error. Please don't forget that. Whatever column predicate you are asking, the same predicate value should come from inner query. Otherwise, it is error. So I am saying select sal from EMP where job not in, please observe, where job not in clerk and manager. So first inner query is going to bring it and identify the clerk and managers. They should not be in clerk or manager. We want to get the salaries of other employees, and those salaries we will give here. Use the in operator, see that how many such kind of employees are existed. So not in clerk and manager, not in a clerk and manager, we want to see the salaries. So clerk we don't want, manager we don't want, clerk we don't want, manager we don't want, clerk we don't want, manager we don't want. So we are going to get the remaining values, that is one is 700 and the other one is 900 and the other one is 1100. So we are going to get 700, 900, 1100. So 700, 900 and 1100. So these are the values we got. Now you attempt the outer query. What the outer query is telling you, please observe. How many employees are there? How many employees are there whose salary is in this list? Whose salary is in this list? What is that list? 700, 900, 1100. So you come to the database. So 700, one guy will come. Even though he is available. Next 900, this guy will come. Next 1100, this guy will come. So we got only 3 employees. So your answer is finally the output it is showing as that count star is 3. Okay friends. So this is one style of writing of your subqueries using in or not in operator, right? Now come to any operator. So as we are learning multi-row subqueries, now I'm talking about any. So any has got few flavors. You want to execute any, there is a mandatory condition. What is that mandatory condition? Inner query must return values. Inner query must return values. Otherwise, if no values from inner query, then outer query is false. Then outer query is false. This is very important. So that means outer query is not going to give you any kind of data if inner query becomes null. So inner query must not be non-null in order to give some kind of values. So this is the mandatory condition for any operator. So any has got few flavors. The first flavor is less than any. Second flavor is greater than any. Third flavor is less than any is equal to any. Next flavor is greater than is equal to any. Next flavor is equal to any. So these are the flavors we have. So what is the importance of each style? We will look at with the definition and also examples. Now you observe the first variety, that is less than any. So less than any is nothing but less than the maximum of subquery. And the next one is greater than any. Greater than any is nothing but greater than minimum of subquery value. Next, less than is equal to any is nothing but less than is equal to maximum. And greater than any is nothing but greater than is equal to minimum. Please observe there are 2-3 gate questions based on this any and all operator. Very important. Now is equal to any is nothing but in operator only. Please observe carefully. Is equal to any is equal to same like in operator only. But mandatory condition, I said, what is that? Your in operator, or you can say that any operator, 100% you see that inner query must have values. Inner query must have values, otherwise outer query is going to be false. Now let me write one query here using the standards. So I'm writing like this. I say select asterisk from EMP where shall, I say, greater than any, and inner query is coming like this. Select shall from EMP bus. So no predicate inside the inner query. I'm calling all the salaries of inner query only. So therefore, you observe friends, the inner query is going to give you all the salaries which starts with a 500 and it goes dot dot to 1100. Now what is the meaning of greater than any? Greater than any is nothing but I already given in the definition. Greater than any is nothing but what? Minimum. That is greater than the minimum. So what is the greater than the minimum? Greater than your 500. That's what? Greater than minimum. So minimum of your sublist is nothing but 500 because your query list has a 500 dot dot to 1100. Now it is a greater than 500 you will get. Now what is your output? So you see that select asterisk from EMP where shall greater than 500. Now you remove this operator. So greater than 500. If you look at the databases, so this guy will come 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows it is going to display. And finally we will write that it is a what? 7 rows. Okay friends. So the same standards we are going to apply for other operators. What are the other operators? Please observe carefully. As I use greater than any, the subquery list is 500 dot dot to 1100. So it has given us greater than 500. And if I am asking less than any, what is the less than? Less than the maximum. So what is the less than the maximum from this list? You take it like this, and your maximum is how much here? 1100. So it is going to give you less than 1100 employees. And if I am going to get less than is equal to any, which is nothing but less than is equal to your 1100. So you know that how many rows are going to come. Select star from EMP where employee salary is lesser than is equal to 1100. All rows will come here. Here all 9 rows will come. And here 8 rows will come. Please observe, friends. And here we discussed that 7 rows will come. Now if I am asking the same greater than is equal to any, then it is going to give you greater than is equal to your 500, which is nothing but it is also going to give you a 9 rows. Now if I am asking this time is equal to any of the value, is equal to any of the value. So employee salary may be equal to any of this value up to 1000 and 1100. Then you can say that this is equal to exactly in operator. From this you are going to get all 9 rows. Observe carefully. Okay, friends. So this is how the importance of each expression of your any operator. Less than any, greater than any, less than is equal to any, greater than is equal to any, and is equal to any operator. Now I will write one more query. Observe carefully. So you have to tell me the output through chat. So I will also show you the database. First observe the query here. I am saying select a asterisk from EMP where sal greater than any, select sal from EMP where employee number is equal to 20. Please observe carefully. So employee number is equal to 20. Now you say, whenever you say employee number is equal to 20, look at the database. There is no such kind of employees exist. We have only 1 to 9 employees only. Therefore, inner query is going to give you what? No output. I can also say that it is a null. So you observe carefully now, whenever inner query nulls, outer query is also going to be what? You will get no rows as inner query is a failure to give. I cannot able to do any kind of comparison here. Therefore, the any operator is also going to be false in order to give the data. The same, you are going to get the same result for less than any, less than is equal to any, and greater than is equal to any, and is equal to any, and is equal to in. All operators, the output is what? No rows, as inner query unable to fetch the data from the corresponding because employee number is not available. Now you tell me once this query. So I am telling you, select asterisk from EMP, observe carefully, friends, where sal not in, where sal not in, observe the inner query now. So I am writing select sal from EMP where employee number is equal to 20. What is the output? You just type from the comment as it is a live class. Select asterisk from EMP where sal not in. Select sal from EMP where employee number is equal to 20. So here we can guess that the employee number 20 is absent as it is not available in your database. Then it is going to give you no rows to the outer query. I can also say that it is a null condition. Then in that case, not in nothing, not in nothing, not in nothing. Please observe. You have to assumption not in nothing. Not in nothing means what? Nothing is there. Not in nothing means what? Not in nothing means what? So you can say In no in and nothing means it is no rows. Not in nothing, not in anything else means what? This is going to give you all rows. Imagine every time you are not going to get a table, you need to understand sometime. Analyze the table yourself and try to answer it. Clear? So don't think that you are going to get the tabular format of data every time. If it gives, well, otherwise you need to assumption yourself. So understand carefully. If I remove this, please observe carefully. If I remove this, what will happen? If I am removing this and I am just writing in operator only, if I am keeping in operator, what is the value? It is a 0 rows. So instead of in operator, what I am doing? Instead of in operator, I am keeping a not in. So when I am keeping a not in, it is going to give you the reverse because not in nothing. So all are going to come. This is the important thing. That's why in is equal to any, no problem. But you observe not in is 100% is may or may not equal to your not any. Please observe carefully. So in is equal to any, I agreed, but please understand here, not in may or may not be equal to your not any operator. This is the example. Okay, friends. Now, by seeing this, we are going to see a concept of all operator. It's a very famous 2012 GATE question, 2016 GATE question. This is all operator, very famous. So what the all operator is saying, what is the mandatory condition? If inner query returns any values, then outer query can compare with inner query values. Outer query can compare with inner query values. But there is a second condition. This is a very important condition. What is that? If inner query returns nothing, if inner query returns nothing, then you please understand, then outer query returns all the values. Outer query returns all the values. Please remember, this is very important. If inner query returns anything, no problem, I could able to compare. But if inner query is not returning anything, then outer query is a success. It's completely different from your any operator and in operator. If inner query fails, outer query also fails. But this is different. If inner query fails, then outer query is going to retrieve all the values. That is the power of this. Okay. Now let us see the flavors of all operator. So what are the flavors of all operator? Understand. There are less than all. Less than all means less than the minimum. Please don't get confused between any and all. Any is different, all is different. Less than is equal to all means it is less than is equal to minimum. So greater than all, which is nothing but greater than maximum. And I am saying greater than is equal to all, which is nothing but greater than is equal to maximum. Is equal to all means outer query value has to equal to all the inner query values. Outer query value has to equal to all inner query values. So using these flavors, we will start writing few queries. Observe carefully. So I'm saying the first one, select asterisk from EMP where sal greater than all, observe friends carefully, where sal greater than all, select sal from EMP Yeah, select sal from EMP. Bus. Let us stop it. Now you see, inner query is going to give all the salaries of employee table from this database. So it is giving 500 to 1100, all the 9 employees details it is giving you. 500 dot dot to 1100. Total 9 salaries will be displayed to the outer query. Now outer query has to map. What is that? Greater than all. What is the greater than all? Observe. Greater than all means greater than the maximum of your inner query list. So therefore, greater than, what is the value? 1100. If you take greater than 1100, nobody is there. You will get 0 rows. Understand? Now, if I am using greater than is equal to all, then you are going to get how many rows? 1 row. Who is that guy? Who is that guy? Topmost earning employee. Topmost earning employee, that guy. Observe carefully. So who is going to come? Using this operator, who is going to come? You are going to get employee 9. His salary is 1100. This is how you can display the topmost number 1 employee, as using this simply greater than all, greater than is equal to all concept. So if I am saying here less than all, what is the less than all? Less than the minimum. So less than 500, nobody is there with less than 500, and this is going to give you 0 rows. If I am saying less than is equal to all, then you are going to get less than is equal to 500. There are 2 guys who are earning less than is equal to 500. What is the meaning of this? Least paid employee. Least paid employee details. You want to know that who is getting a least salary, you need to use the lesser than is equal to all operator. Highest paid employee greater than is equal to all operator. So these operators are very much useful in real time in order to get the data. So find the employees who is getting more than anybody else, then you can able to use the concept of greater than is equal to all. Like seniority wise, who is highest topmost senior guy, you can able to use lesser than is equal to all with the date of joining. Understand, date of joining is telling you that seniority of the employee, so there you have to take the minimum, that is lesser than is equal to all. Okay friends, now you observe the other one is, the other standard is we learned about 4 varieties, that's greater than is equal to all and greater than all, less than all and less than is equal to all. The only one variety is there, that is like this. If I am saying, please understand, I am saying select asterisk from EMP where sal is equal to all, there is a, this is the last flavor, is equal to all, select sal from EMP, leave it. So this is going to give you all salaries. Inner query is going to give you all salaries 500 dot dot to 1100. I'm asking that we want to compare E1 salary how much? 500. Come to the database once. E1 salary. I'm comparing outer query values with inner query this time. E1 salary is a 500. Please see that this 500 is not equal to all the values. Observe. This 500 is not equal to all the values, therefore he is not going to come. E2, his salary is a 600, he is not going to come. Likewise, you observe that you are going to get how many? 0 rows in this case, because your employee salary or whatever the predicate you are asking, that must be equal to all the values in the inner query. So in that case, you are going to get that none of the employees are satisfying by matching with all the 9 values, hence you are going to get 0 rows in this case. Okay friend, now you tell me output by writing this query. Understand now. So I'm telling you, select asterisk from EMP where sal is equal to all. Please observe carefully. Where sal is equal to all, select sal from EMP where employee number is equal to E1. Please observe, where employee number is equal to E1. So what do we understand? The employee number is equal to E1 salaries, it is going to give you, not all the salaries. So employee E1 salary is how much now? 500. So the inner query is going to give you 500 here. Now you observe outer query whose values are equal to this 500, because it has to map to all the values. Luckily we have got only one value here. Therefore E1 salary is a 500. This is matched with this value, so he will come. And other guy, one more guy is there who is earning a 500 salary. Anybody is there? So here you look at E4. So you please understand, E4 salary is also 500. The E salary is also belongs to this list. So in that case, is equal to all is what I mean to say, behaving differently than the previous. Therefore, I can get from this sort of query is a what? 2 rows. This is the concept of this. So 2 rows. One is E1 500, the other one E4 500, because these two values are matched with all the values. Luckily there are no all the values, only one value is present, so we are able to map it. Okay. So come to, this is another example. I say select asterisk from EMP where sal greater than all. Please observe, I am using greater than all, and I am saying select sal from EMP where employee number is equal to 20. Please observe friends carefully. So we know that employee 20 is not exist in our company. Please see that. There are some existency of the employees from E1 to E9 employees only. Therefore, I am asking what inner query is matching with the 20 employee salary, then inner query is giving you what? Nothing. When inner query is a false, then what about outer query? What about outer query? True or false? Please. What about outer query? Using all operator, you need to understand carefully. I am not using any or I am not using in operator. I am using all operator. Therefore, what will happen? It is true. Then outer query is going to give you all the 9 rows. Why all the 9 rows? You're asking this. What is that? Select asterisk from employee. So this is a very important case with all. This is represented with any kind. You may use greater than all, you may use less than all, you may use greater than is equal to all, you may use less than is equal to all, or you may use is equal to all. In all the cases, you are going to get that outer query is going to get success. Whatever the value are there, that is going to be passed as your output. So come here now. Now I'm telling you, please see that this knowledge is very much useful to solve the evening problems. So evening questionnaire is there on the Unacademy student learning app, special class. This knowledge is required to solve such kind of question. That's why listen carefully. I'm writing a one query here. As I am saying, select asterisk from EMP where sal greater than all. Select sal from EMP where employee number is equal to 20 and job is equal to clerk. Observe friends, clearly observe carefully. Here select sal from EMP where employee number is equal to 20. We know that it is giving nothing. So when it is giving nothing, outer query is success. This is true. When this is true, it is passing. Please observe. When this is true, it is passing from employee table how many rows? Please observe. All the 9 rows. So you got 9 rows. But I am filtering on it. What is the filtering? Among the 9 rows, I want to see that job is equal to clerk. So now it is going to have the further filtering. So it is going to give you only 500 and again 500 and 800. So you are going to get E1, E4, E7. E1, E4, E7 as they are your clerical employees. So you got in this case only 3 rows. Clear friends? So any doubt please ask me so far through the comment as this is a live class. Anybody is having a doubt? Otherwise we will go ahead. Next one we talk about nested subquery. This is also important. Nested subquery can be used for single row subqueries. I don't mind. You can also use for multi-row subqueries, no problem. But you please be aware, you are using a single row subquery means use single row subquery operators only. You are using a multi-row subquery means use multi-row subquery operators only. Okay. Now I am saying subquery within another query. Subquery within another subquery. So it is going to give you much more time complexity in order to generate the results. Why? In order to generate the result, nested, outer inner loop within another inner loop within another inner loop. All these inner loops are belongs to outer loop only. That's why as one level you increase and your time complexity will be increased. As I said that order of n square is the time complexity for subquery concept. If you add one more, then order of n cube. If you add one more, then it is order of n to the power of 4. This is how the time complexity is going to be increased, especially with the subquery concept and especially with the nested subquery. How to write and what is the necessity? Please understand. So what is the necessity? I am going to write a one query, you will understand the necessity. I say select asterisk from EMP where sal greater than is equal to all, inner query starts. Whatever the predicate you are asking, the predicate should be available in the inner query. Select star from EMP where department number is equal to, and one more inner query. Select department number. This time I am taking department table where D name equal to sales. So this is I have written one extra inner query. So when you have inner query with an inner query, it is called as a nested subquery. This is your first inner query. It has to execute. It pass the result to this, and this is inner query number 2. This will execute and pass the result to outer query, and finally outer query will execute. So you can write any kind of nested levels up to 16 levels you can write. Please observe. Nested levels can be up to 1/6, but 3 are recommended because it is going to have a good time complexity. Hence, you please write your subquery concept up to 3 levels using a nested, but don't write up to 16. But it can support up to 16 levels as per as Oracle Corporation concept. Okay. So what is your answer here? Please observe. Look at the database. First inner query, department number name where number is equal to sales. So I am saying that it is going to give you 10 department as the department name is a sales. So it will give you, after executing this, it is giving you that department number of sales department is 10. This 10 it passed here. Now it vanished. There is no use of that subquery. Subquery will execute only once in front of outer query. Please understand. Now inner query 2 is going to execute. What the inner query 2? Select sal from EMP where department number is equal to 2. So please understand, department number is equal to 10. Department number is equal to 10. So here department number is equal to 10. So you see that the salaries of department number is equal to 10. So you see salary 500 is the department number 10, 700 here, 800 here, 1000 here. Now we are asking 500, then next 700, then 800, then 1000. You please write that 500 and 700 and 800 and 1000. So this inner query will vanish. Its work is done. These values will be pushed to your outer query. Now outer query is executing. Select asterisk from EMP where sal greater than is equal to all. Greater than is equal to all means what? Greater than is equal to all means greater than is equal to all. This is 1000, right? Greater than is equal to all means greater than is equal to 1000. Greater than is equal to 1000 means who are going to come? Please observe. Greater than is equal to 1000 means this guy and this guy are going to come. Finally, your answer is 2 rows. Who are the 2 rows? One is E8, one is E9. E8 salary is 1000, E9 salary is 1100. Okay, friends, this is how you can write the concept of a nesting. So greater than is equal to 1000, greater than is equal to 1000 means please observe. So 1000 is one guy and 1100 is one guy. You're going to get 2 rows in this case. Okay. Now let us go to next variety. So I said the very important thing. What is that? Nested can be up to 1/6, but 3 are recommended. Every nested is going to give you time complexity. That's why you want to test the time complexity. You do one thing. You insert 2000 rows in your table. You write the same using a join. You write the same using subquery. Subquery will give your data very slowly, but join will give your data very quickly. This is the difference. You can test it in real time having good number of rows as an input. The next one is multi-level subquery. So what is this multi-level subquery? Outer query has more than one inner query. Please observe. This is a different approach. Outer query has more than one inner query. Therefore, we must use logical operators. We must use logical operators like and or not. So I will write one query. You tell me the output of that by seeing the database. Okay. So I am writing a query like this. Understand? I say select asterisk from EMP where sal greater than is equal to all inner query predicate is unknown. Select sal from EMP where job is equal to clerk and one more condition to outer query and department number is equal to. I am writing one more inner query. Please observe. Select department number from department where D name is equal to accounts. Please observe, friend. What is that? You want to execute this outer query. This is a one inner query to you which is independent. This is another query to you which is independent. This has to pass the result to this and this also has to pass the result to this. That's why these two conditions are being integrated using logical operators like AND or not. Okay. Now let us identify output of it. What is the first inner query? Select sal from EMP where job is equal to clerk. So we know one is a 500, the other one is 700, the other one is 800, the other one is 1000. I hope so. 500, 700, 800, 800 and 1000. Now you look at the second one. So these values will come over here. So you are going to get 500 here and 700 here and 800 here and 1000 here. So this query will vanish. No use of that because it's already got completed its task. Now this inner query you observe. Select a department number from department where D name is equal to accounts. What is the accounts? Please observe department table. Accounts department number is a 20. Now get it. So it is going to give you 20. Now it vanished. Now you execute the outer query. What is the outer query finally? Select asterisk from EMP where sal greater than is equal to all. Greater than is equal to nothing but what? 1000. And you see that 1000 means this guy is E8. You see that E8 department number is equal to 20 or not? If his department number is equal to 20, he will come, otherwise he won't come. So we will see that E8 department number is equal to 10. Therefore, he is not going to get. Finally, our answer is what? 0 rows. This is the concept of multi-level subquery. You have multiple levels to your outer query. These multiple levels you can able to solve using logical operators like AND, OR and NOT. Okay friends, so please observe here. So greater than is equal to OR operator once you use, it has given you greater than is equal to all means, yeah, one more is there. What is that? E9, because greater than is equal to 1000 now. Greater than is equal to 1000 means it's 19. So we got E9 also. Okay, so small correction. So E9 also. So E8 is belongs to one department and E9 is belongs to what is that? 20 department. Yes, we got E9 as is belongs to what? 20 department. So finally we got one row from this. Okay friends. So greater than is equal to all means greater than is equal to maximum. Maximum which is there in this set. Which is there in this set. So what is there in this set? 500, 700, 800 and 1000. So the greater than is equal to 1000 is nothing but we got 1100 also and 1000 also as it is equal to. Now you got E8 and E9 employee and E8 belongs to 10 and E9 belongs to 20. So we are going to display only E9 because we are saying that this inner query is given what is the value? 20 department number. Done. Because the second predicate depends upon the second input, that is second inner query. This is so this inner query is returning you what is the value? 20 it is returning. So you join that. So greater than is equal to all means E8 E9 have been come, but among the E8 E9 E8 belongs to 10. We don't want because the other inner query written 20. So we are going to take only E9. It belongs to 20 at the department. So now come to the very important. So we all people waiting for this. And today concept is also this. So we learn the basic knowledge. We start using and learn today's concept. What is the today's concept? How to retrieve topmost 3 senior employees. This is our today's agenda. Because to discuss this agenda, I gave you the fundamental knowledge about subqueries. Okay. So I will give you one query, you tell me the answer. So for example, I say select a asterisk from something like employee where date of joining, now seniority depends on date of joining, where date of joining lesser than is equal to all. Please observe carefully. Select date of joining from employees. So what is your answer? Can anybody respond from the chat? What is your answer? Select asterisk from EMP where data of joining lesser than is equal to select data of joining from EMP Inner query is going to give you some data of joining. In that we are going to choose what? Lesser than is equal to what? Minimum of the subquery list. Lesser than is equal to minimum of the subquery list, because lesser than is equal to all. So what are you going to get? What is your output? In general term, what is your output? It is going to give you topmost senior. It is going to give you topmost senior only. But what I want, how to retrieve topmost 3 or 4 or nth. So you want to generate this kind of situation queries, then you supposed to use concept of what? Correlated subquery. It's not 0 rows. Please observe carefully. I said that grade lesser than is equal to all. If it is less than all, less than the minimum, nobody else. Less than is equal to all means somebody is there who is having the least date of joining. So he will get it. Therefore, you will get from this query what? Topmost senior. Because I am specifying lesser than is equal to all. What is lesser than is equal to all? You see that lesser than is equal to minimum of the subquery list. Clear? Now our target is this: how to retrieve topmost 3 senior employees. Clear? Now come to the concept. This only can be done, nothing else. This is not possible with the other styles. It is only possible this kind of queries of today's agenda is correlated. So what is the correlated? Please observe carefully. If outer query instance is used in inner query as a condition, then outer query and inner query are correlated each other. Correlated each other. So what is the purpose of this? Please observe. Outer query cannot execute unless inner query values are available. Unless inner query values available. And one more, reverse. And what is that? Inner query cannot execute. Please observe carefully. Inner query cannot execute unless outer query values are available. Unless outer query values are available. Thus, what happened? Both are bound together. Bidirectionally, both are bound together. Hence, they are co-related each other. They are co-bound each other. It is a concept of what? Correlated subquery. So what is the specialty of the correlated subquery? What is the difference? Somebody may ask you in interviews. This is a very famous question. What is the difference between normal subquery and correlated subquery? Please observe. In normal subquery, inner query executes only once. Inner query executes only once before outer query execute. Direct definition. And what is the correlated subquery? It's a difference. What is completely different? What is that? This is what I am saying. First, outer query will execute first loop. Then inner query is generate complete loops. Then it will hand over to outer loop. Then outer query will goes to the next row. Again, inner query is going to be repeated. That's what. What is that? For every row of outer query, for every row of outer query, inner query is executed. This is what exactly outer query versus outer loop versus inner loop concept. For first I is equal to 0, please observe. I is equal to 0, I say I lesser than is equal to 10, and I say I plus plus, we assume is in a one for loop, and I have written one more loop that for j is equal to 0 and j lesser than is equal to I, and I say that j plus plus. Now imagine this is going to be done order of n square time complexity, because first I is equal to 0, inner query is executed these many times, then outer query value will be incremented, again inner query is going to be executed. So you say that you are going to get how many combinations? Outer query into inner query combinations you are going to get. So you are going to have the concept of Cartesian product indirectly. So what is the Cartesian product? Those many chances are going to be executed this subquery concept. For every row, the inner query is executed. Again it goes back. Again it takes one outer query and inner query is going to be executed. So cycle, that's the difference between normal subquery and outer correlated subquery. What is normal subquery? Just inner query executes and vanish. Its work is completed only once it executes. I don't mind that how many rows the outer query has. But in correlated subquery is not like that. For every outer query, inner query is going to be checked out. So how to write this kind of correlated subqueries? That's very important. And evening special class also based on correlated subquery questions only. Please follow carefully. So I am writing correlated subquery like this. So I say select a asterisk from EMP where sal now I am writing a predicate. Select a count asterisk from EMP E1. I am taking a table alias. Here employee is represented as E1 table alias, and here I am taking a table alias better as E2. I am taking a table alias here as E1 lesser than is equal to 3. Bus. Now if I write this query like this, it's not a correlated subquery. I can say that simply it is a normal subquery. Why? Because so when I come to execute inner query, what will happen? It just gives the select count star from EMP2. EMP is nothing but 9 rows are there. So please observe, it is going to give you that it is 9 rows only, then it vanish. So therefore it is not a correlated subquery. So you want to write the correlated subquery, you need to write a different style. What is that? 100% you need to show that outer query instance is used as a condition in the inner query. Then only inner query is going to be correlated with others. Therefore, how I mentioned the correlated subquery, observe now. So select star from EMP E1 where predicate is required, that condition. I am writing inner query like this. Select count asterisk from EMP E2. Please observe carefully. I am not leaving. Now I am writing the correlation condition now. Where, please observe carefully, where this is outer query instance is E1, inner query instance as E2. Now I am trying to make them to correlation. How? Please see. E2 dot sal greater than E1 dot sal. Please observe. And I am saying that the count is must be like this, some value. Now you observe carefully. As usually we try to execute the inner query as the concept of the subquery. In subquery what we are going to do? First inner query executes, give the value to outer query. Now I am trying to execute inner query. What will happen after executing inner query? Select count star from EMP E2, but what is the condition? Where E2 dot sal, E2 means myself only, where E2 dot sal greater than E1 dot sal. What is E1? This one. Please observe. So unless outer query value is available, inner query cannot be executed. Okay. Now let us execute outer query. What will happen? If I execute outer query first, what will happen? Select asterisk from EMP where E1, where So this has to give, what is that, some result to this. This has to give some result to this, and that result I am going to compare with this, that is lesser than is equal to 3. Therefore, what will happen? Outer query cannot run alone. Outer query and cannot run alone, as well as inner query cannot run alone. Please observe. Inner query also cannot run alone. So this is what is the concept of correlation. What is the correlation condition here? This is the correlation condition. Please observe, I am making into a box. This is the correlated condition. Inner query values are greater than your outer query values. Any condition you can keep is equal to, greater than, not equal to, any condition you can keep it. This is only mostly is correlated condition. So how to execute this sort of queries? Let me show you the process of executing correlation now. Please be listen. It's not that much easy to digest. Observe carefully. Now you see, observe carefully. I'm taking E2.sal greater than E1.sal. E2.sal greater than E1.sal. This is our correlated condition. E2 is inner query, E1 is outer query. Okay, because I already presented in such a way, I denoted like this only. E1 is outer query, E2 is your inner query. Now you observe what I am asking, salaries only. So bring the salary column there and here. So your salaries are 567 589 567 589 and next 8,1100 8,1100. Observe friends carefully. Here also same salaries, there is no other condition I mentioned, so same salaries will come. I am also asking same E1 dot salaries I want. So get E1 dot salaries now. Same salaries. I am writing in different font, different color, and it is 700 and it is a 500 and this is a 800 and this is a 900 and this is 800, this is 1000 and this is 1100. Now I said whenever you see that they are correlated each other, what I said, outer query will execute first and give one value, then inner query is going to be repeated. Please see, observe the outer query inner query loop. First outer query I is equal to 0, then inner query is going to start using j is equal to 0 and so many. So the same way we are also going to see that first outer query, this is out your outer query as it is designated as E1, that value come here first. Then inner query start matching. What is the matching you want? You want to have the matching called greater than only. Therefore what happened? You see that this 500 is greater than to this 500. No. This 600 is greater than to this 500. Yes, one time. Please observe carefully. First time. And this 700 is greater than to this 500. So plus one time. And this 500 is not greater than is equal to greater than to this 500. So 800 is greater than to this 500 plus one time. So likewise you observe that how many times the inner query values are greater than the first value of your outer query. The first value of your outer query is 500. How many inner query values are greater than your 500? Why I am asking how many times? Because you understand how many times I am asking, because it is a what? Count star. Count star is nothing but number I want. Therefore, you observe that for the first outer query, the number is 601, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it gives us a count 500, count is 7. There are 7 Inner query values are greater than your 500. So next, outer query is incremented value with 1. That means outer loop is being incremented. Now again the chance will come into the inner loop. So outer query is giving this time 600. So this one you clear it. It's already done its task. Now this time it is a task with 600 only. So 600 will come into the picture. Outer query is incremented. Outer loop is incremented. Now you see that how many times inner query values, each value is comparing. I am not great. I am not great. You're great. I am not great. You're great. One. Next. 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 So likewise you see that how many guys are greater than 600. I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you get to this 600. You get the count is what? 6 here. Please see the next one is now 700 will come. We understand that 700 count is a 5. Next 500 will come. 500 count is a 7. Next 800 will come. 800 inner query values are 4. Next 900 will come. 900 inner query count is 3. Next 1000 will come. 900 how many guys are 800 how many guys? Only 3 guys are greater. So 800 only, 900, 1000 and 1100 only. So 3 guys are greater than 700. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Next one 900. How many guys are greater? 1000 and 2, 1100. Then 1000. How many guys are greater? Only 1. Then 1100. How many guys are greater? 0. So nobody is greater than to this 1100. So he got the count as a 0 only. So we got the count value. That count value we will pass to the outer query. What is that? 7653210. Now outer query got this count. This count it got here. What is that? 0, 1, 2, 3 and something like other values. We are asking lesser than is equal to 3. We are keeping the restriction. Lesser than is equal to 3 means it is a 0, it is a 1 and it is a 2, it is a 3. What are they? Those 4 figures it is giving you 0, 1, 2, 3. That means this guy is a 0 count. He will be retrieved 1 count. He will be retrieved 2 count. He will be retrieved 3 count. He will be retrieved. Who are they? You can say that topmost 4 earners. Topmost 4 earners. 1100 is the first highest, second highest, third highest, fourth highest. This is how you can write, how you can able to generate topmost 3 employees or topmost what I mean to say 4 earners. In place of that, if I keep 0, please observe carefully. In place of this, I am arranging. In place of this, if I am keeping 0, please observe. I said that I keep 0. What is the meaning of 0? You are going to get the first highest detail. In place of this, if I keep 1, second highest will come. In place of this, if I keep 2, third highest will come. This is how, please observe. This is the first highest, this is the second highest, and this is the third highest, this is the fourth highest, this is the fifth, and so on. This is how. So you can also get the topmost single guy and topmost 2 guys, topmost 3 guys, topmost 4 guys. This is the concept of correlated subquery, how it is going to be executed. Okay, friends. So in the same way, you want to say that reverse. What is the reverse? Least most 3 earners or least most 2 earners. The condition is going to be the reverse. Instead of greater, we keep lesser. If you keep lesser value your salaries, then it is going to start giving reverse. 0 is 500 and 1 is 600 and 2 is 700 and 3 is 800. So you will get in reverse order. Least most earners, 0, first least most, second least most and third least most. Okay, friends. So this is the concept of correlated subquery. So using that, so many number of questions are there. So those questions we will discuss in the evening class. Okay. So thank you very much. Stay tuned to us. We will meet in the evening special class. Any doubts here, you can post in the comment. Topmost three senior values is our answer. So what is your answer? Please observe what I am asking. I am asking, please see, select star from EMP only. So you are getting final value E9 dot dot, its salary is 1100. E8 dot dot, its salary is 900. E7 dot dot, its salary is 900, and so on. So you're going to get all the details whenever you get this kind. So as I kept lesser than is equal to 3, that's why it is going to give you 0, 1, 2, 3. That means topmost 4 errors will come. 0 is always first highest, please remember. 0 is always first highest, 1 is always second highest, and so on. Plus you need to attach it. The same query can also be written in different style. That style we will see in some other case, or in the marathon session I will keep it. If you are unable to attend that, then I will write the solution for it. Okay. So any doubt you can chat with me, as this is a real-time class. Any doubts? Have you all understood the comparisons now? Please understand. These comparisons are very, very important. So let me finalize otherwise once. Select star from EMP where is equal to 0 is equal to, please understand. 0 is equal to means what? Reverse also same. 0 is equal to 1 or 0, 1 is equal to 0. 0 is equal to, I am writing select count star from EMP E2 where inner query salary is greater than outer query salaries and U2 dot department number is equal to 20. Observe friends, before closing please see this. So you may also need to learn this kind of examples. First you observe carefully. This is your outer query. I am bringing all the salaries. What are all the salaries? 500 will come, 600 will come. Please see, all the salaries will come. 500, 600, 7, 5, 8. 7 and 5 and 8. Then 9, 8,000, 1100. 9, 8,000, 1100. So many may have doubt, that's why I am giving this. And take your inner query now. Inner query don't take all the values. Please understand. Inner query don't take all the values. Here I kept the condition. What is that? E2 dot department number is equal to 20 only. So you take them. 20 department salaries only you take as this condition is enabled. Earlier it was not there. Now I am giving condition. So 20 department salaries. One is a 600, 500, 1100. 5, 6, 11. So 500, 600, 1100. Please observe carefully. Inner query salaries are greater than outer query. E2 is inner, E1 is outer. So outer query first will give first value. Now you understand how many inner query values are greater than to this 500. How many inner query values are greater than this 500? So this greater and is greater. He got count as 2. Observe carefully. Now next one, 600 will come. So how many inner query values are greater than to that? Only one guy. So you will get count as 1. Next 700, only you will get count as 1. Next 500, you will get count as 2. Next 800, you will get count as 1. Observe carefully. Next 900, only 1100 is greater. So you will get count as 1. Next, we will get count as 1. You will get count as 1. You will get count as 0. So I am asking 0 is equal to 0. What is 0 is equal to 0? So the 1100 guy E9 who is earning more than all the 20 department employees. Please observe carefully. Please observe carefully. The 0 is nothing but 0th count only. What is the 0th count? The guy is E9. So who is the E9? He is the most earner than anybody else in the 20th department. Please observe. I am the greatest earner than the 20 employees departments. But earlier is not like that. I am the greatest among all the employees. But this is I am the greatest earner than the 20 employees, guys. Okay, friends. So this is going to give you only one row. Who is that guy? E9. Okay. So please once again watch this video because we have to solve the problems in the evening session. We will meet in the evening session by sharp 7, and tomorrow 2 o'clock we are going to learn about B trees and B plus trees. Don't miss that class. Day after tomorrow algebra, and day after tomorrow marathon session. Okay. Thank you very much.